Howdy, everyone. Welcome to Trench Talk, the show where I, Lek, and my co host, Fonzie, talk to you about the latest and greatest Foxhole news, discussion topics of any kind, whatever we're feeling like, and we just have a good old time here. Just pass a few hours of our time, your time, whatever, whoever's time. Now, before we start, just in case you don't know who we are, which, let's be honest, most of you probably do because who the fuck else is going to watch this? I don't think we're exactly popular enough for either of that to happen. But, it's always a good enough thing to introduce yourself. I am Lek. I've been playing this game far too long, 5 years. Train man extraordinaire. 1.0 coming up, so we'll see how those are when they come out. But not much to know about me. I do a bit of everything. But let's ask you then, Mr. Fonz. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, thanks, Lek. Yeah, I'm the new co-host for Trench Talk, a show that occurred over 3 years ago now. I'm a armor main, Foxhole armor main. There's really not too much else that's interesting about me in Foxhole besides that. I commanded the first battle tank a really long time ago, and then I was the first Falchion commander as well. And those are my two world first claims I like to tote around and tell everyone, but they're not really that big of accomplishments. I don't think that's that's
You ever
too
launch a
too big
nuke?
of a thing. Have I ever launched a nuke? So I've actually only ever launched one nuke, and this was I missed the final nuke launch because I was spotting for the nuke. It was at Buckler Sound in like War 80 something, and it was the nuke that ended the war. It was a parse nuke, and I went to go get pizza because I was drunk because my roommate was handing me shots of tequila during the operation. So I was doing shots of tequila, and I ordered Papa John's while it was getting ordered, and Papa John's was right next to my dorm at the time, so they got there really quick, and I missed the nuke hitting, and then the war was over, and everyone was kind of mad at me because I didn't even get to experience my first nuke launch. So,
Okay.
you know,
I
but
mean, I used to launch nukes back in the day. Back in my day, fucking like 2 or 3 years ago. And I mean, if you know me for my nukes, you know that they were both launched from atop mountains and some stupid shit. But yeah, that's about all you need to know about us. Now let's get to the more pressing matters and the reason why you might be here. Our hot takes, of which mine will be incredibly lukewarm. And I will argue relentlessly over Fonzie about why he's wrong. So, update
well,
49, Mr. Fonz, man.
I mean, we're both colonials though, Lex, so we're probably going to agree on a lot of things. I mean,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
like the Kali bias, the podcast. I
Kali
mean,
Bias podcast. Don't you worry, though.
speaking of,
We'll get some wardens on here eventually,
with
but
yeah, probably, you know, those bastard fucking blue No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so with update 49, I think overall this was like a decent pre. It was kind of lackluster in the end, two new vehicles, buffs, and that's really there wasn't really any new content added besides that. I mean,
I
no new
mean,
like
there's plenty to talk about, even though it's a small update. I mean, the hydraulics alone had the
hydraulics.
subreddit for a week, I swear.
The
Oh,
Yeah, I swear, man, with the the Gmod Physgun sounds when you bang two props together, playing
yeah.
over the trucks going up hills. That oh my God, that one video of the Wii Sports bowling where they nail those 12 guys. That one's a pretty man. That was probably an awesome fucking thing.
God,
But
I'll probably link that in the description.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's it's been a wild update for some, like, mostly because of the bugs. And there's a small few things. Actually, the field gun shit, like it's like nothing is too consequential this update. Except for maybe the like big thing that if you're playing right as we're recording this, the Quadish, that thing. Oof,
Well,
I know it's people are gonna have opinions on that. What are
yeah, I mean,
yours?
the Quadish, it's definitely a in regards to how the colonial or how I think about things, right, is I don't really look at things as a solo player anymore, and that's really, it's part of a flaw of joining a clan and things. I like it, even in Vox I thought really hard as like a solo player because I didn't have, I couldn't call upon 40, 50 people to get in tanks right away or things, right? So with being in SOM and just looking at things, I think the Quadish is not only like an excellent vehicle on its own, it's a really great support vehicle because it replaces half tracks. I mean, I hate like the Scorpion is fun to use on your own and things if you're just trying to look for a good fight, right? And I'm gonna tie that into this Quadish here, right? Because the Scorpion is supposed to be that's gonna support the tank line and things. It's just too slow, man. So I'd always have like a half track with, you've seen it before. I usually run a half track
Yeah.
with us because I mean it replaces an infantry support squad because you just have Lamentum on there one-shotting infantry, right? It's like, okay,
I
you're
mean,
not getting stickies off on us.
I think the fucking ATR, I think that one's a lot better for anti-infantry, just because the
So
MGs are so broken right now. Like,
yeah, I mean it really depends. I think the like on like traversable weapons like the Scorpion, it really isn't that bad, and the
yeah,
bar or the Quadish isn't really, the Ransor as they call it, dude.
no one
Yeah,
calls it that. It's the
yeah, no
Quad
one calls it
Father, the Ram Rancher,
Wrench.
the
The Quad
Quadish, the Quad
Beast.
Father. I think I said Quad
Yeah,
Father,
yeah.
but yeah,
Someone said, I think it was Mikey who said Quad Beast. I thought that was a pretty good.
yeah. I
That's a
mean,
pretty.
it's a quite apt. The thing,
Yeah.
it's strong. I mean, I
Dude,
ain't gonna deny, like fucking suppress for
man,
satchels or just like kill all tier 2 everything.
Horse Gang the RDM guys were running four of them at once, and that shit was ridiculous, dude. Just watching man, it was like watching like seals getting clubbed,
You
dude.
say
Like
that like we
babies.
weren't doing the exact. Well, I actually you weren't there. We were doing that earlier today in Spit Rocks, and we went up, and I'm not kidding you. They dove us with like 3 highwaymen and a fucking light and 2 ironhides and like a bunch of silver hands. We lost 1 or 2 bards or the quads, but we killed I think their entire armor line like multiple times over. Like it is a ridiculous tank if your opponent is not expecting it. Still kind of
So
dies to like focus fire or poke, and it's definitely a tank where if you think about it as a team player, you're gonna have a great time. But like like the Bard, it's super vulnerable to being bullied. But yeah,
yeah, so I mean, okay, let's get because the Quadish, I think the universal opinion is yes, it's a good tank. With colonials at least, like it looks good. It's personally not like my playstyle. I'm big on flanks, and I'm big on using like tanks maneuverability to to mess with people, and then just play infantry support when you're not able to, just like blowing up structures or anything, or killing infantry that are in trenches and things, so our guys can push up and like sort of I always call it festering because infantry is like a disgusting like disease that spreads
actually,
around. I mean,
fuck the
but
one.
uh,
Yeah, no, the fucking MG on it is like actually ridiculous.
yeah.
It's
So that sorry, go ahead with
No,
the with
it's
what?
like it's when you I was almost exclusively doing MG for like the first hour. The fact is it doesn't cut out. It's a 40-meter fucking sniper. It is so strong, that MG.
Yeah,
And like before it came out, I was all thinking like, "Oh, the RPG doesn't control the turret. Oh, that kind of makes it a bit shit." No. Oh my god, I was so wrong. Oh lord, what a fucking monster that MG is.
the so let's I mean because we sort of agree with this. Let's move on to the
The Highwayman.
highwayman. I want to hear what your takes on this are because I have
So,
a lot of wardens who disagree with me on this
well,
take,
yeah,
but
I
it,
feel like you're gonna get wardens that disagree with you on anything, but I mean, you'll probably get some colonials too. But like,
well,
I
Horse
my
Gang and I were arguing about this. I'd like he's a colonial. He's a good colonial
yeah, yeah,
tanker.
yeah.
I
He's a
mean,
pretty
there's
good LTD dude.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
it's I have seen it in action like 3 times today. Every time its performance was quite middling, and I don't think anyone's wrong with saying that it's kind of bad. I don't think it's I still hold my dev branch opinion that people overstate how bad it is, and I ultimately think a part of the problem is that people kind of expect it to do something it's not made for.
dude. I
But
mean, you know,
undoubtedly I think it does need a little more something. It's definitely, as a medium, I think it's one of the worst mediums. Maybe
Uh,
it's up for I'd probably put it above the Falchion, but not by much.
no, I don't. So it's very because I mean even just comparing the Highwayman to the Falchion to me is like alien,
Well,
dude.
no, no,
Like
no. Like
you're speaking moon runes at me right now
they're
with
not
that.
they're not similar. Like
I know that, but my point, like here, let me say
I'm
this with
talking broad use, okay?
okay, broad use with the Highwaymen. So the Highwaymen, for those who don't know, and I guess we should have explained the Quadish. The Highwayman is the new Warden double 20 millimeter anti-tank rifle tank that has a 12.7 or a 50 cal on top for the commander's hatch, where you can control that and shoot infantry with it. That 50 cal sucks. They need to increase the traverse. They need to increase the accuracy on it, or the decrease the amount of bloom that it
I
gains.
feel like
But
only the Chieftain is the Chieftain's like the
even
only one with a
I
good
was told the
MG.
Chieftain got like shadow nerfed recently. I don't know if that's true,
It
but
does not feel
it's,
like it.
yeah, dude, the Chieftain rocks cock, man. I don't know what
Chieftain
people
is
like.
uh,
Like that,
I
he's a
okay.
beast.
The more we approach like late, I feel like late game power spikes has been insane because like the
Yeah.
Chieftain and the Quad, they both kind of just like absolutely shut down infantry to an insane degree and then are good at something else on top of that fact, which is really absurd to me. But on the Highwaymen, what were you saying on the Highwaymen?
So with the Highwayman, it's the new double ATR
Yeah,
12.7
yeah.
tank on the Outlaw chassis.
Yeah, but
So
what are your
it
thoughts
has a
on it?
boost. So far it's I mean, I was talking to Shiv and Shiv was like saying I'm being BM and like being rude by saying Shiv was being stupid for fighting a solo crewed highwayman with it, or not highwayman, sorry, Quadish with infantry support. In regards to that, Shiv is a good tanker. Shiv's a good player. Maybe I was being BM, but regardless of that, it's I think wardens are a thing with Foxhole players. Let me explain with this, right? In general, people look at a tank and they see it to be like an all-purpose, all like it needs to be able to win 1v1s, otherwise it's useless. Okay. The way I look at the Highwayman, when I look at the Highwayman, I see it as the ultimate counter to maneuvers that I would make and to what a lot of good colonial tankers do, which is big flanks. I mean, because it completely stomps out what like the intended purpose of how colonial tanks are supposed to play, which is flanking, closing the distance, and then out traversing your enemy, right? Because I was told that, and I have to check the data mine sheet for this, that the Highwayman has the traverse, Kreneska level turret traverse, meaning it has a very fast turret traverse
I think
on it.
Kreneska has
So
slightly worse than standard Colonial LT, right?
yeah, so then I mean, even then, it's still a good
It's
turret
still
traverse,
really good
man. Like,
traverse
still a
though,
really
yeah.
good like you're not gonna get out. It's not like the silver hand where you're fucking spending an hour hand
You're spending
cranking,
the better part of
breaking,
your 20s turning it.
yeah, fucking your ring finger is dying because you're holding down your right click button forever. Your tank's already exploded because it's been flanked. You're just dead. But in regards to the Highwayman though, with that, I think people aren't looking at it as as sort of a counter. They wanted it to be this ultimate boosting clip hunting vehicle, sort of like the ATAC and the Typhoon half tracks are, if that makes sense, right?
Or
Because
the
you'll
Bone
see
Car.
or the bone car, exactly. The bone car is an excellent example of a clip hunting vehicle. When I say clip hunting vehicle, it means it's a vehicle that has really like it has a really high skill, like a skill floor. Like it doesn't have it takes a lot of skill to use properly. And in the hands of people who aren't really or in the hands of people who know how to play the game, they're really you can pull off some wacky shit with it. Like I've killed a single HTD inside of an ATAC before just by flanking and hitting it. I mean, that's not really that impressive because you if you get behind an HTD with anything, you'll kill it, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So,
If you
but it's
if
still
you're on the receiving end though,
yeah.
whew.
Oof. Yeah, I mean it makes you like you get really PM. Like I mean I won't deny it, man. I've died to fucking 250 field mortars in ATACs before. My ATAC got disabled and they just rolled a 250 field mortar
If you've played
and they
Foxhole
shot
long
me.
enough, you've died to everything, including your
Yeah.
own rocket. Nudge
But
nudge that one for
the
one guy.
yeah, jeez. I can't believe that fucking happened
That
with them
was that was a
nuking
golden
themselves,
clip, but
idiots. But with with the Highwayman, to get like back on track with that, it's a tank that like it counters Colonial, like close the distance, get in the Warden's face, because a majority of Warden tanks, and I mean you can disagree with me on this, they don't want you to be in their face. Like the HTD is a tank, you don't want people in
It
your face.
wants you to be
Silverhand,
exactly like 30 to 40 meters in front of it at like
exactly.
20 at like a 10-degree difference in angle max.
Well,
It wants you
exact
in a very specific spot. And if you go outside of
Silverhands don't
that, it
want you
suddenly
close to
is like,
them.
"Oh no, my flanking," or I can't do the meme. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, my tape!
On my table.
Oh
It's
no, my
broken.
HDD!
It's broken.
It's disabled. But in regards to that, heading back to the Highwayman, dude, I mean that thing, like I see it, like even if you're not okay, if you're not using it defensively, if you're in a tank line with that offensively, and you have silver hands, like because colonial tanks are going to focus the silver hand, you'd be stupid not to, like because the silver hand
Yeah.
is it has more health, it has more power
It
than
has
that,
more chance
but
to
I
pen
mean
because it's got
it
the
has more
dual
chance to pen.
cannons.
Yeah, but okay, so picture that you got four falchions versus okay. Let's do this. We'll give it the yeah. Let's just do four falchions versus two silverhands and two highwaymen. Immediately, this if the silverhands just dive those falchions and just get their 68s firing and their 40s firing, focusing fire, they're probably gonna kill one tank, like one or two of the tanks. I mean, and then you have the highwaymen on the flanks too, pushing in and getting around them, blocking their reverse, shooting at their components from the rear. You're probably gonna, I mean, on a falchion, you're probably gonna get a turret disable. You're probably gonna oil leak, like just with how the nature of the falchion, if you're aiming at the turret and things like that, right?
Every
So it's just
component is like super awful, and you get subsystemed all the time in a falchion.
yes, falchions. I hate. That's one of the biggest reasons why I hate running falchions is
I
their
actually
subsystem disable
I need to
chance.
check the sheet again, the data mine sheet. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure the falchion has worse subsystem disabled than the Spatha, right? Or is it
Yeah,
identical?
no, no, no. The Spatha doesn't have it. The Falchion has, I'm pretty sure, the worst turret rate. It's either at 35 or 40%.
Like turning or
No, no, no.
getting
When it
turreted,
gets
right?
like getting turret, like getting yeah,
You
turret
feel
disabled.
that. Like you have to bring
Yeah, I
up
mean
like if you want to kill one Silverhand, you bring up 20 fucking falchions,
that's a,
not because you need that much firepower, but because half of them will have their fucking turrets disabled
yeah,
before you
true.
can
I
finish
mean,
the fight.
I've soloed Silverhands and Falchions before, but that's because I'm a goddamn
You're a
tank it now.
goddamn
Goddamn
tanking legend,
legend.
Fonz.
No, but
Mr.
with
Fonz.
with the Highwayman though is it's people aren't really looking at the big picture with it. I feel right. I think for sure it needs to if they're gonna up the damage, they need to reduce the fire rate on it. Or they need to
Yeah,
reduce the penetration chance. Like, because I mean, the fire rate on it is ridiculous. Someone said you can
it's a
clear a
full
clip
mag
in
dump in 8 seconds and a full mag dump plus reload in I think 12. Like the
which
average DPS of it currently is somewhere it's about Spatha in terms of DPS currently. But it doesn't have the alpha bonus because it doesn't like on a normal tank, you get a shell off and then you reload, and then after 7 seconds, you get another shell off, right? With this, the damage doesn't come front loaded, the damage comes from like lengthy encounters. So you like the time to kill is definitely shorter because of that lack of alpha. And people, one thing I've noticed is people keep saying, like, oh yeah, we got a turret like right as the tank died, or oh we like shot at subsystems, but it like never does anything. It's like the thing you have to remember about it is that you're not guaranteed to. I think there was a warden that during the dev branch essentially found that it was about a 70% chance to, I believe, track a tank in a single clip,
and
which
that's fucking insane, dude. Like,
mag dump, that's pretty fucking good. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, you take a look at okay, like people just are kind of like slobbering over, but it can't 1v1 tanks though. Like, if Foxhole is a combined arms game, you have to look at it from a matter of how things work with each other. Things sort of have like a really good relationship with one. Like, okay,
I
Scorpion and Smelter, very good combo. with that. The Scorpion and Smelter are a
Scorpion
very
is
good
such
combo.
a Scorpion's such a sad tank. I'd say the quad is much better at supporting it
Yeah, I would
because
say it's quad,
because
but
not only is
any
the MG better, but you also prevent like dives, and also it doesn't get poked to death because its
how many
armor isn't
bullets does
zero.
the how many bullets does a single magazine inside the
Bart or the
oh,
quadish
the
have
quad, yeah, inside the quad niche.
200
Is it two?
200
Dude, that
HV
is
bullets.
ridiculous,
And,
man.
and
That's
and remember, it's not the old FMG that was like 200 bullets, but it's actually 100 because it shoots two at a time. It's
yeah.
actually 200 HV bullets that takes
No,
like two to
that's
kill,
okay. That's a
one
little
or
bit. I
two to
can
kill
understand
at
why
like
people
40
can say it's
meters.
ridiculous. No,
It
yeah,
is,
but I
it's
think the
ridiculous.
so my suggestions for the Highwaymen is, and but if you don't get what I'm saying, essentially what I'm saying with the Highwaymen is, it's a very good flank guard vehicle, and it's a very good vehicle when Silver Hands just press W at something, right?
It's
When
yeah, it's kind of I kind of agree with you, but I will say I think it's definitely you use the metric of being able to 1v1, and I think it definitely wins a 1v1, provided it has the right scenario of getting the drop on another tank most of the time. It depends a lot on what you're fighting, because something with good turret traverse, um, that or like decent girth will probably kill you if it's like paying enough attention. But there's a bunch of individual factors. I think it's generally favored if it gets the drop on anything,
I mean,
but
that's the case with all vehicles, right?
that's
Like
the
if you
nature
get
of
the
like
drop on
anything.
someone,
But
like
like I think I think I think when you say it can't 1v1, it can't 1v1 in a line, but that's fine. It's a flank vehicle. People keep saying they want it to be 40 meters. Like, man,
the
you
Outlaw.
already have the outlaw is already like a 40-meter
Well,
fucking
it's also
sniper
like
tank.
the
You don't
Outlaw, when they referred to the Outlaw as a flank tank, that makes me laugh. A flank tank does not have the one of the longest range. It doesn't outrange every tank bar one tank in the game,
I would say
right?
Outlaw's pretty decent as a flank tank, because
Uh,
you don't lie that you'd prefer a silver hand. If you're a warden tanker, you'd want your lines to be filled with silver hands and HTDs, right? And then you'd want Outlaws playing as flank guard, right? Because that's usually
I'd
like
want
pretty
highway
decent, right?
now. I would want highwaymen as flank guards. What I would want, the thing is the outlaw is an excellent infantry support tank, very much so like how the Spatha is an excellent infantry support tank, and how the Falchion and how all 40 millimeter tanks are infantry support tanks. Right? They do a very good job at blowing up structures, blowing up machine gunners, and blowing up things that are stopping the infantry from coming from pushing up. Right? And that's where 90% of new tank our new Foxhole tank mains and shit, or people who are
You've
trying
said the
tanks
word
out for the
tank
first time.
5 times
Hey,
now.
I have this. We're gonna start a think tank, and we're gonna get all the colonial tankers are a full generation. No,
You're
it's the
unironically leading the colonial tankers are a full
no
generation ahead
no
movement.
no
How do you
no
feel,
no no no
Fonz?
no
How do you
no
feel
no
about
no
that?
no. I don't
This you heard it here first, folks. Fonzie
what's
thinks warden tankers are inferior.
yet. Well, you know.
Well,
Oh, that was like the agreed upon thing back in the day, dude, that colonial tankers were better and more than infantry mains were better. I remember during asymmetry, that was like a commonly
you mean
stated
during
thing.
symmetry, right?
During symmetry, sorry, not during asymmetry.
Asymmetry is the
Asymmetry,
shit we live in
symmetry,
now, okay?
asymmetry, symmetry.
The words blend together,
I just
mister.
want I just want Sunhaven back, man. Fuck, dude. Old AW looked really cool back in the day, but same thing with like OG. OG Farinac was pretty cool. I liked the Two Island Farinac, man.
Mm.
Fight me.
Yeah.
Whatever it
I
says.
think yeah, to finish off the highwayman stuff
Oh
though,
yeah, yeah. Like
I think like ultimately it's just a case of it's a bit too niche for how much it costs. And you'd mostly like I still definitely think that it's like it having limited range makes it having limited range is a pretty big weakness, but ultimately it's a tank that has the tools to close the gap. It has that boost. It is the I believe second fastest tank in the game while boosting, just behind the Kreneska, and it's I think it's similar to an on-road Silverhand at full. Like I think it also has pretty good acceleration while boosting. because that's actually like a big part of the boost is the acceleration, not actually the top speed. But I think
What I,
its tools for actually flanking are pretty nice, and I think it needs to just like get some small buffs for what it's meant to do, because I don't think there's enough incentive to use it over just endlessly doing outlaw silverhand HTD at field cannon, right?
it's also like just I mean decrease its price. You want to see it
Yeah,
used
yeah, yeah.
more,
I
you
think
decrease its price. Like
I
if you
think
dude,
I
170 is ridiculous
it's
for that
170. Wait, I
tank.
thought no,
It's
didn't it get
100
reduced?
and no,
I
no,
thought it
they
got
were
reduced to
telling
165, didn't it?
no, I was told it was 170. Let me
I remember it
see.
being 170 in Dev Branch. You can look it up, but
I'm
I
googling
think
it.
price decrease is probably the best
Yeah,
thing for it, because like
it's 170. Yeah,
I think
so that's
it's
ridiculous.
really hard to, because I there were unironically people saying that they thought its like damage should be like, oh, what, it has double the firepower but half the damage, this makes no sense. It's like, motherfucker, if you know, like, if in 8 seconds a tank can deal like and I know this is really funny when you talk about like the fucking quad, which can technically do like 2000 damage in 4 seconds, but the quad only has blah 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 4 pens, and the quad, okay, quad is very strong, but like
Dude,
people were
this makes
unironically
no
wanting
sense.
the ATR tank to deal like 2000 damage in 8 seconds in
Well,
like
yeah,
while
it's
while
like, dude,
also being like very good at flanking, right?
it's also like that's just like brain rot loyalism, though, right? Like
I
it's
like we
it's
can
ridiculous.
acknowledge the Highwayman is weak, and probably, if I had
Yeah.
to say, I'd probably, what's a fucking Kreneska cost?
Kreneska costs 165 now, man. They cost the
What?
same. Yes, Kreneska's
Bro,
cost 165 now.
bro,
It's
what?
ridiculous.
Okay. I
Let
look,
me confirm that before I
you're
said
learning
that, and I
right
have people
now
going,
live that I
"Oh,
don't do
Fonzie."
logi, but I'm a full mooch. I know the values of like certain shit like
It's
fucking 40 mil
160.
and RPG
Excuse me.
shells. I know
Sorry,
the
it's one.
160?
Yeah,
What
it's
the
160. Yeah,
fuck? How,
I mean
bro,
that's still
isn't
like
that the same?
expensive.
That's like 5 armats less than a Spatha, right? Or than a
Yeah,
Silverhand?
that's 5 armats less than a
Or a
Spatha,
Silverhand is
and that
170,
is
right?
the same cost. Yeah, Silverhand's 170. The HTD is 160 as well. So that's like
What
ridiculous.
a
Dude, what are
crazy.
these RMAT costs for these? Like, man, the more I like think about these RMAT
Wait,
costs, it's ridiculous.
I
But
think,
the
okay,
HTD is
Fonzie, I
160,
think
but
when 1.0
unless
comes out and trains are hopefully good and not bad, we gotta, you and I, we gotta do like a nothing but logi for a month. We gotta be the
man,
whole colonial fucking, we gotta learn all this shit, cause goddamn, like the fact that
had I not joined a clan back in the day, I'd probably still be like a major cat. Because Thought Destroyer, shout out to Thought Destroyer, the most handsome black man in Foxhole, he's still a major man. And Thought Destroyer was in BLD, he was in Reborn, like he remembers all the Sir shit. Like he's played just as long as you and I, man. And he's like,
wait, does for
it,
like similar hours though?
yeah, similar. Thought like
Actually,
probably has more hours than me. Thought he just doesn't do logistics.
you're
I don't know
wait,
how
hey,
Thought's has
you're a
projected.
lieutenant colonel, right?
I'm a colonel now.
Oh,
So
right. Oh, yeah, you
but,
got it
yeah,
recently. It's funny
I got
because
yeah.
you, unironically, you have like, I don't know. I think you just on average I think we play like about the same, but like not in terms of total hours average. I think we both play on average every war, but like the amount of hours we put in is definitely
We,
different. Cause
yeah,
I checked, I have a lot less than you. I I'm probably one of the lowest hour loyalists in the game, but like I don't really grind Foxhole too much, and I don't play if it's not fun. I
dude, you have like what 1.8, 2K
no.
now?
I
Like,
so on Steam it says like 1.9, but I had 180 in the pre-alpha that didn't carry over.
yeah,
So
I had
I have like 2080, like not a
I say
lot though.
I say a 4K because I have like 500 or something in the pre-alpha.
Ah,
It
right.
didn't transfer over, and I have 3,589.4 hours in Foxhole. What the Jesus. Can you imagine if I spent that time studying and like fucking like I spent that time studying, I spent that time going to parties, I spent that
Bro,
time, talking
Foxhole's a
to women.
mind killer, okay? Okay, like people have, god damn, I need to like, fuck. If I ever go for a PhD, I'm unironically gonna see if I can't like
Write a
fucking
dissertation on
write it on like
Foxhole.
if
Yeah.
like if I ever wanted to just get a PhD, the easiest thing to do would be to like go into sociology or some shit and just like write a paper
Ridiculous.
on the absolute fucking state of Foxhole players.
Look, I mean, you
God
could
damn.
definitely. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, man. With some dude, some people like actual like loyalists in Foxhole, like super big loyalists. There's more people. There's people in Foxhole who are more loyal to their fictional faction than their nation of origin, man. Just like talking to some people, like it's on both on Warden and Colonials, like the literal like the doxing drama back in the
Doxing?
day.
Wait,
With the, yeah,
I'm not up to date with this.
you're not up to date. So from what I was told
Maybe
back
I
in the
heard it in the
day,
past, but
there was that guy who was trying to sell that artillery calculator, if you remember him. I was told that he was doxxed and
uh
he got death threats for that.
oh
But
fuck. That's
yeah,
ringing
what's
some
his name?
bells. I don't know the exact context, but that definitely rings some bells.
Well, but it's also like, dude, why are you like, man, the guy's just trying to make a couple extra bucks off of some idiots who, well, like I never understood that. Okay, I would never.
People get really aggressive over like fucking people get real angry that Castow didn't make like Skynet and shit like
Kinda
fucking
public,
people.
yeah.
It's so funny cuz people were like I can count on one hand the people that actually use Skynet, and it's Leak. It's just Leak.
Dude, it's just Leak. It's because Leak
It's
knows it
just him.
pisses people off, and that's why he does it. He says he drops in chat. He's BM. He goes, "Oh, get Skynetted," and it's like, man, like he's and people are like, "Dude,
I
the Colonials are using." Man, it's like no one. Man,
It's
I have.
very
I
funny
don't even
though.
know how
It's very
Skynet
funny.
works. It's
It's just
like it just
like
pings the thing.
it's
So,
literally it's nothing you couldn't do with a normal player. Castow's a fucking beast though, with all the shit that he makes. For like, if you're a colonial and you're on Sigil, throw him some money. I
what
haven't because I'm a cheap fuck. Okay,
what warden do you
but
think they'd send back to kill the cast out T-800? That's a that's
uh,
coming.
fuck, who would it be? Well, it would be someone you don't know about
Okay,
today,
so
right? It'd be a fucking kid who's like a who's the most notorious like fucking
okay, so
like
immediately
12-year-old warden. I don't know.
Trekker's out right away. They wouldn't send back a tanker to stop a T-800.
They'd send like a partisan,
They
but someone
they
that's
send
actually good.
HOC. They'd send
No,
an HOC. You don't think an HOC guy they'd send back? I want to say
they'd
like
send someone
fireman,
that's good.
but no, they it's fucked up.
No,
You hear that
fucking
HOC?
they'd
Lek
send
hates you.
they'd send like DK or something, right? Like
I
who's
mean,
it? Or maybe
okay, who's a good infantry player in on the Warden side? I'd say like Derp maybe. I've seen
Derp?
Derp do
Wait.
dude, Derp's like
I've
decent
never
at
I've not seen
infantry.
I've actually funny story, I've never seen Derp in game. Only on
So
FOD. Only on
I've
FOD, okay?
I've only seen Derp in game because when I was in Vox, I saw him in 2019. And yeah, then I got blown up to a captured push field gun after I started like making fun of him over voice chat, and
I
then he was
yeah.
typing aggressively back at me.
Yeah,
But
I unfortunately don't know enough wardens to know who'd be like I know that there's some really good warden infantrymen. I just don't know them, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
send back
But
Maybar. That'd be pretty funny.
Maybar's in the
Old
running, yeah.
Maybar's definitely in
Maybar's
it.
definitely in the running. Oh, Shiv. Why did we go to Shiv?
Well, I
The
didn't go to Shiv. I didn't go to Shiv because Shiv is like,
tanker?
Shiv is a
Memer?
self-proclaimed. Shiv is a pretty yeah. Shiv's a memer. Like,
Shit
uh,
poster? Yeah.
I would say Shiv makes probably some of the funniest like Foxhole content. I
Yeah,
won't lie to you.
if you haven't, I
And
don't know why are you here? Go check out his shit. He actually
yeah, go
like
check
puts
out.
effort into his stuff.
Yeah, true.
I
Um,
wish I was he's I from what he said, he's not like a crazy editor, and I don't think he's like in terms of levels of editing, I'd say he's like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I'm like a 7 or a 6. I
but
don't know.
and then it, but that
No, I'm a
doesn't.
6. I'm a
How does
6
editing scale to killing a T-800 that's coming back to kill Callahan after
because you can
Castow sends it back?
with the power of CGI and editing, you can like remove all the failures, you know?
Dude, that'd be pretty sick watching fucking Shiv with as an Aqua fucking model with that
Just
burly
imagine
Turkish
like
voice.
imagine that as a superpower though in like Foxhole. Like imagine if everyone in Foxhole had a superpower based on what they're like notorious for,
You would
and
send no,
it's like,
they'd send back K-Bet. That's what I'm telling you right
oh
there, man.
god, was
K
K-Bet the cheater, right?
Yeah, Kvet was
Yeah,
the guy. I mean, God bless him. You know, the thing what I don't like about Kvet is the way he was in Dury's Discord a while ago, and I mean, me and Kvet, I didn't know he was cheating when I was in Vox, and it kind of like ruined one of the best moments in game I've ever had because there's a video on Shiv's channel. Check this out. It's called it's his Spitfire Partisan video. Yeah, that was probably one of the most fun moments I've ever had partisaning in Foxhole because we kill like 14, 15 Logi trucks in a matter of like 3.5 minutes. Like I shit you not, because we're on that big Soteria highway, just rolling down it, just highway of deathing these
you're gonna have to
fucking
link
Logi
this to me.
drivers. Yeah, but we uh I was talking to Kvet about it after he got caught cheating. I was like, "What the hell, man? This is like," and he's like, "Oh, it was one of my best moments in Foxhole with you and the Vox guys." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's like you were cheating though." Like, man, I don't
Yeah.
know, like you were hacking though, and it's
Are you? Have
man.
you stepped back from your
It's like,
mic? It's a kind of a bit weird.
oh yeah, yeah, sorry, my bad.
No, it's good. It's
But
good. No,
oh,
it's yeah. Actually, fuck. I am I even in Dury's server? Cause I oh something we for anyone at home that's not seeing the like, cause you're just seeing like our stuff pop up and not actually like whatever we have on the side. We had like a few things listed for like what we wanted to potentially do like as conversation topics because it's a first go round, right? And one of those things was favorite content creators. Dury is a fucking beast, okay?
there is
Probably my
excellent.
favorite. Like there's a couple dudes back in the day that don't do it anymore. The one I think he's a Polish guy.
EFC Bannon,
Not
is it?
Bannon, not Bannon. There was
Bannon.
another. You'd know him if he had like red theming on a lot of his stuff. He wasn't. He was kind of if you look at back at him today, he was kind of mediocre to just plain like normal vet good, but like at the time he was pretty dang good and did some decent clips. But
I have
um
no clue. The
he
only
was a streamer and he was pretty small. I forget his name though. I'm mad about that. But no, Dury is probably like the best. And then
Well,
there's
Dury's probably genuinely like the
he is.
least
I'm sad
he's
that
like
he's.
genuinely a good guy,
I'm
Dury. Like
sad,
Dury,
bro. I'm so sad that Dury didn't get the spotlight when fucking
yeah.
Summit came. Imagine how like of all the people, and yeah, it would kind of create some imba swings in terms of pop because he's a newt and he does like his like side swaps every so often. But Dury is like one of the most I cannot I've seen nothing bad from the guy. He's good at the game. He's friendly. He's personable. He's just a fucking chill dude. I don't know.
He
Like he's
like
he's
Dury
he's the most sane Foxhole streamer I've seen. Okay.
Dury used to get mad at. He'd go, Fonzie, you need to stop being toxic, dude. You're doing a disservice to Vox at me, and he would sit there and like with in regard like I remember I used to when cross channel voice chat was a thing. Whenever I'd down people, I'd run up to them and start pretending to fart on them because you remember you couldn't give up back then.
Yeah, yeah.
So you'd sit there, I'd run up to people and they'd sit there go make fart noises at them, just being BM, and then Dury would catch me doing it. He'd go, "Dude, you are doing your entire clan a disservice, Fonzie.
Yeah.
It's not even funny, dude." Yeah.
I
God
think
bless him. Yeah,
Dury is
Dury's
probably
genuinely
the
one of
best like normal person like
and
streamer.
more
If you're looking for someone to like just like who puts out the occasional like once a week to once a month video and like who streams. I don't watch a bunch of I don't watch streams, right? But whenever I catch a stream, he's usually doing something good.
dude.
But
Okay.
like if you're looking for someone like that, he's probably the best for
All
like
right.
normal
This is
people.
a hot take right here. You ready for this, Lek? I like Badman Larry, and I'm just gonna say it now. I think Badman Larry is pretty funny.
I
I
think
think
Larry
he
is certainly Larry gets due flack for the times that he can go way too aggro, but I'm not going to pretend I don't do the exact same shit, but I don't have a fucking camera on me, okay? I
well,
people can record it, and maybe I'm surprised no one's recorded Lek freaks out montage. I don't know how bad I get, and I would say I'd say people do go a bit like too far with it. Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
with the harassment Larry faces, it's definitely been like
Oh
I
yeah,
I won't say it's definitely like it's pretty unwarranted with some of it. I mean, he
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
has like don't vote kick the guy. Don't if you're gonna just mute Larry and walk away from him, dude. It's a team game. Don't be a baby.
He
But
is.
he is just it's just like he has some like Larry has some cooked fucking takes sometimes, man. I don't know, like with the whole like him versus was it Nemesis? Was it?
What?
Or it was one of
Wait,
him versus
Nemesis.
or was it? It was one of the raid guys, like ex FOE turned
Nemesis ain't raid.
ex.
Nemesis is a
No, no,
fucking.
no, 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 no. But I think he was wearing a raid. It was someone. Okay, it was some old player that I remember being a really good player. Versus when Tremola's first came out. Do you remember this drama with the grenade launcher and he was shooting?
Oh, it yeah.
Who was
No
that?
no no
Was that
no.
Nemesis or who
It was
was
a
it?
no. It was a raid dude. I don't remember the name, and I think like it was basically he was shooting tremolas. It was one dude shooting tremolas at a concrete bunker that they were just repairing all the damage, and it was just doing basically nothing. And yeah,
I mean, it's also like I don't know, like that, like when he was like shot there, it's very easy to explain to someone like I don't know,
yeah. It's like
hey, don't do that, or it's
it's
just
like
like his.
he went way too aggro there for like I think like it was obviously a waste of Tremola's, but it's like he
Then
just
just
I remember his rage. Oh man, that
you
was
smack
crazy.
a guy, you give him a smack on the wrist, you don't get a shot. I don't think I've ever shouted at someone in Foxhole. I think maybe okay, maybe there's one time where I shouted at Official Seagull because he had his turret, and Official Seagull's a Som guy. Him and a left null, and god damn it, God bless a left null, dude, but a left null pisses me off with how
You
he
pronounce
tanks
his name
sometimes.
funny.
Do I? Or
Aleph
how do
is
you put
I
Aleph?
just call him
Oh, left.
Aleph.
Dude, they were facing the wrong way, and we flanked this. His turret was facing the wrong way, and we flanked this Spud tank line, and we killed a bunch of them. And I'm sitting there yelling, "Seagull, your fucking turret's the wrong way. There's tanks 15 meters from you," or something. But yeah, man, it's not
Your
really that
mic is a bit
hard.
odd again, by the way.
Is it? Oh, I don't know. I think it's with positioning.
It's
But
definitely
here,
positioning. Now it's
let
clear
me
because it's
reposition here.
there
Yeah.
was
Okay.
yeah, now it's good. There was an echo though. Yeah.
Yeah. But with that, you take a look at like people who have these major freakouts, like Partisan Hero. There was that drama with Partisan Hero on the 621st recently.
You say
There
drama.
was
I've had that man blocked for years at this point.
yeah,
I
dude.
don't care about him.
Okay,
I just
that
don't
man
like.
and Partisan Hero is one of the few people who I like genuinely think are like is not a good person in
A
Foxhole outside of
paranoid.
Foxhole. Like they're like a weirdo in my opinion. But
It's
hey, man.
in a sea of absolute degenerates, they are on another level.
Well,
Like,
also like the weird Nazi accusations too, and it's like whatever,
wait,
man.
he accused or got accused?
No, he got accused of by someone in not someone in Nix, but someone dropped a thing in like a Reddit thread recently saying, "Yeah, that's why you post weird Nazi shit, idiot." And I think it might be in reference to how his there's that one picture that he likes to post inside FOD, or he liked to post for a bit, or they whatever they like to post in FOD, where it's them standing over a dead colonial soldier with an MG34 and like a Luger, and it's like quite obviously like not meant to be the Malone, or it's supposed to be the Malone, but it's an MG34. Like it's modeled like the Malone itself has like a very specific, and the Rat Catcher too, where they don't look like those kind of machine like the not like the German machine guns from World War II, right? They look like a
Yeah,
weird
everything
amalgam.
actually.
Like,
Yeah. No, it's
but
like yeah. I don't know. Just talking on that, it's like I just don't care about them. I just ignore them.
yeah, you
It's
just
like if there's people I don't like, I just block them, move on. It's like,
yeah,
come
and
on,
I mean,
life's
there's a
too
lot of
short. Life's too short to not make
there,
use of that feature. Come on, save
there's a
yourself
lot of
some time.
wardens that I raz, but there's a lot of like really cool people on in the community, and it's just there's some really big shitters in the community, like Alabastard. No, I'm just kidding. Well, the thing is, I
Alabaster's
joked.
okay. This
His
is
freak out, he freaks out more often than other. Like I remember, so there's a guy named Dealer inside Vox, and he
Dealer.
doesn't speak English. Dealer,
Oh,
yes, Dealer.
never
He
heard.
was a
I've actually never
yeah.
heard of him.
He was a builder. That's why he didn't actually do too much combat.
That
He would
explains
follow
it.
us behind, and he would do. But another Russian guy got him into the clan, and he'd follow behind us in tanks, and he would build. That was like what he did.
Yeah.
And he was following me one day, but he doesn't speak English, so like we don't communicate. Like I don't talk to him. I'll just say like anti-tank garrison. And then he'll go, okay, and then I'll ping where I want it, and he'll start building it, right? Like that's,
Yeah.
it's like playing playing Command and Conquer and telling your
He's a
peons
fucking
to go build. Yeah, you're playing an
Jesus.
RTS. But God bless him. We
Fonzie, are you gonna hire fucking like are you gonna hire what's the fucking RuneScape Dragon Gold farm? Do you know what I'm talking about?
well, no, I have no clue. I
God,
didn't play.
okay.
I didn't
There's like
grow
a
up playing RuneScape.
I don't either. There's just a thing where people would farm RuneScape gold for like real world cash because their economy was so fucked. I think it was
Hmm.
Venezuela. When are you
Yeah,
gonna hire
Yeah,
some
yeah.
fucking Venezuelan players
Venezuelan.
to fucking follow you as a build push? Come on,
Well,
you can buy them
tr-
Foxhole. You can buy them Foxhole and tell them it's a gift.
well, I
Actual
mean,
slave labor, yeah.
Sam's in a coalition with CGC, so I have no need for cheap foreign labor anymore. CGC and
Okay.
T3C supply. I mean, it's hey man, I haven't done a lickology or ask for anything this lore. T3C's got my back, and
It's funny
CGC's got
because
my back.
yeah, it's
But
like what the mooch pipeline is from CGC and MSA and T3C to SOM to Lek. It's like I am the puppet
yeah,
master here. I just get free bards and free quads and free tanks and shit.
it's actually ridiculous. Like Grumpy Moo. I think in an entire war, I probably burn through maybe at most, and this is a big maybe right here. And this is like if I've been blundering and shit, probably 20 tanks at most, on my own. But in with ops, that number is probably closer to like 30, 35, 40 maybe because people,
I'd say
people
it's like for
whatever.
me it's like somewhere between 5 to 15. I don't know.
It
Depends.
And yeah, I mean that's also when I say vehicles, I include that with like the half tracks early war,
Oh
tankettes
yeah.
early
Oh
war.
okay. If you're including
That's what
all
I
of
yeah,
that,
that's what I,
if you're including all of that, yeah, I'd still say 5 to 15. I think I've
well,
lost two tanks this war.
and
Kreneska and a quad.
yeah, this is also just me trying to be a little bit more humble here too. I don't want to, be like,
Look,
I've only lost.
everyone's gonna die. There is no such thing as like,
Yeah, but
there is no flawless foxhole player. There are people that are
um,
better and people that are good, like worse. But
back to that,
yeah, grumpy moo.
with Grumpy Moo. Grumpy Moo goes, yeah, I made 105 Kreneskas for you to use, bro. And I'm like, man, I am not going to use 105 Kreneskas by the end of the war. Like it's just an unreal hey man, I thank you for doing it, but it's like 105 Kreneskas is an insane amount. Okay, can you picture that on a
People,
field, 105 Kreneskas
I
all at
can't
once?
because if you would you'd get one driver in each, and you'd have 100 solo manned Kreneskas. That's as much as you could fit in an entire server. God, yeah, no, it's not really a feasible amount due to like server constraints or whatever.
Well, it's
It's
also like
it's like a thing of people say like, oh,
dude,
tanks cost armats and armats are rare, and it's
well,
like,
like it's also like think about it like this: 100. Some countries in the world don't even have 105 tanks in real life, dude. Like
yeah.
it's an insane amount of armored
Well,
vehicles.
Foxhole's a
So
Foxhole game. Foxhole, not real life, but
well, I don't know. It's still
also real
like
world,
bad.
like for the size of the map of Foxhole, and like you get millions of deaths in the span of like a year or two in game, right? Like if you were to fully extrapolate everything to like real world
Yeah.
magnitudes, you're gonna get like shit that's not exactly like analogous because it's not a game. All that matters is that when you're playing, it's immersive, not that it's like realistic. Because if you've played Foxhole for any amount of time, you'll realize it's not realistic. Not really. But like,
Um.
yeah,
Foxhole is pretty unreal. It's realistic in the sense that it puts the game, and now we're getting a little bit off topic here because what were we even talking about? Like
It's
this
funny.
went from
No, no, yeah,
favorite
I'm
content
literally, I'm
creators
like in
to
my head, I'm like, where did we go from? Because
but
it was like, it was Alabaster and Partisan Hero
oh yeah,
to like Grumpy Moo to like we're going all over the place. Okay,
but
which one do you
with
want to go back to?
I mean, I'm cool with continuing this part of the
Yeah, no,
conversation here, man,
I'm yeah.
because with with Foxhole, like Foxhole does a very good job now, and this, I mean, a lot of people are going to disagree. What I value a lot in Foxhole and something that like triggers my like, oh my God, this is so cool, is combined arms, seeing combined arms, and I think Foxhole does the best job out of any like game I've played at representing
Yeah,
combined arms and the importance of because it's like okay, infantry and tanks can only do so much together, right? Infantry and artillery can only do so much together, but when you have like all three, all four with infantry, armor, uh, artillery, and logistics all working together at once, dude, it's
it's a
actually like
beautiful thing,
insane.
huh?
Like it's a
Yeah.
like you get a lot of work done, and it's really cool to watch, man. Like
I mean,
if
that's
you've
like
ever
the whole thing is that the devs like literally the way that the devs perceive the game is from like that top down like they have the spectator cam that's like hovering at like 200 height or something so they can see the battlefield and everything and they just like quickly zoom around and shit. I got to play with it that mode a while back during a festival or whatever and they can definitely like see a lot of stuff really cool. And that's like how the devs like to watch it. They like to watch it like a tabletop game of like little soldiers moving around and like little units like it they watch it like it's an RTS and that's like where they get their enjoyment from it. It's also where their discrepancies and how they understand the game come from because I think the devs understand the game in a like really well in a certain way, and I think that's where the discrepancies between like how they like update the game and how like they don't consider either how something is going to be implemented in a way that's balanced or not, or certain stuff about the player experience from a moment-to-moment basis. But we have plenty of time to riff on the bad things that the devs do at a later time. Maybe during a
yeah, I
fucking
mean, I
Logi
actually like
like as a we for a later one we could talk on Logi,
yeah,
a thing we both don't
dude,
do,
I love.
as like a conversational topic, right?
Okay,
But
I actually this is another hot take. I think the devs are good. I think the
I
Foxhole devs
yes,
they could this could
it's
have
not a
definitely
well,
been
it's
a
kind of a hot
cash
take,
grab
but
one time. It's a hot take in the sense that the devs get a lot of like hate for like stupid shit, man. Like I don't know, like people take it too serious, like threatening to
yeah.
who was that who sent a who like said they were gonna send a pipe bomb to their place
Oh
or they like
God,
showed up at the office.
the
Like, geez,
psychopath, the
oh yeah,
psychopath.
psychopath named
It's a
Psycho,
play.
the
Yes,
psychopath.
it's a play on words, psychopath.
But
Yeah, no, it's yeah, but like no,
but no, no.
like in terms of
It,
good stuff the devs do, it's like there's one or two things that I can like say the devs have done really well. It's the core gameplay of Foxhole works. It's all these like basic systems that work together insanely fucking well. And when the devs updated Arty and everything, I think the devs kept the spirit of the original Arty while also making it like Arty is a lot more about support nowadays than it what it used to be, where it was very much just a this thing gets deleted kind of thing, right? Where it was just
well,
it's just an area. It was a long range deletion tool instead of like an
yeah. I
actual
mean, you get
suppression support tool, right?
you got a you got a an artillery like the old FA back in the day. You got HEFA within 150 meters of a tier 3 town hall. It was dead. Like
Yeah, no,
there was
like
nothing you can no you could not repair it. It was dead. You got you're in a
the whole thing is like modern artillery like in Foxhole is so much cooler because of the fact that you don't just like instantly delete stuff. Like
oh yeah.
functionally the times when you bring up Arty is not every time because back in the day you would always want an like an FA rolling with your armor to either kill enemy tanks or enemy town halls or enemy bunkers or whatever, right?
AT
Like
garrisons. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
You'd have
like you would
AT
always have an
turrets.
FA with you.
Yeah,
There was no
Junkins.
situation where you would not bring an
Well,
FA.
it was
And
also like FAs back then too. Do you remember when you had to push FAs to the front and you couldn't get them on a flatbed?
yep.
And that was like that was considered like
Uh
the gap of like why like that was a
That
justification
that
as to
was why it was
why
so
FA was
absolutely
like
fucking busted. The fact that it
well
could like,
because yeah
it
you
was
had to
literally
spend
the
40 minutes pushing the thing up like it
bro.
was dude I remember
HEFA was literally a fucking satchel, like a ranged satchel launcher. It was
yeah
so fucking stupid. But no, it's like when it's like in terms of that, like the way everything all works together with Artie these days is like Artie and like the logistics and like the combined arms and shit. Everything's so much fucking cooler, and it's
no
so much like the
well, it's a lot
devs.
more cinematic too. Like it's
Yeah, yeah,
just to
yeah,
watch.
kind of.
From an so with new players, right, or players in general. I think your average Foxhole player does not play Foxhole to win Foxhole.
No, yeah, no.
It's like
Look,
yeah,
look.
it's
I
like
don't. Past. I mean, like, I think everyone plays to win two things: win the war and win like the individual like section like and battles that they're in, right? And like maybe the regions that they're in, right? But past once a war ends, 90% of people don't give a fuck anymore. They just want to have
no.
fun. They want to play the game. They want to fight. They want to battle. That's how I do it, and I know
Well,
that's how a lot of more
Leck,
casual players take
think
it,
about
right?
back to like think back to 2018 when you were like I don't know when you were younger and you first picked up Foxhole or even not like even for normal
2017,
people
actually, not
27
2018.
20 well no or just
Dude,
like put
pre-alpha was
yourself into
2017.
no I'm saying 2018 because 2018 the game was more fleshed out than 2017 but
Oh,
picture
okay, yeah,
yourself
yeah.
you put yourself in you're fighting for those the two tiers of Garrison House that you have in 2018 right which
There
was
was
the
two?
really yeah, there was that fat long one and the super short one, the super small one that you couldn't go inside. But it
Uh,
was yeah,
oh, you mean like the two models? Okay, I thought you meant like
yeah, the two
tiers like we have
models. Yeah, yeah,
now.
there was
No,
two. No,
yeah,
no, there
I
were two
remember,
models for
dude.
them.
That
Yeah,
old house was.
but
I have memories of those old houses.
I
Fuck.
miss the old houses. I wish you could. I wish they would port them back into the game. The old houses.
I think it's
To be
really
honest with
sad.
you. Yeah.
I think it's really sad that we don't have like, and the devs have said that like multi-level garrison houses are bad for gameplay based on tests. I really want to see what it would be like. I really want like there. I think the major cities in the game should have like catacombs and shit. Think how fucking cool that would be. Like you get little staircases into like maybe it's sewers, maybe under ward it's or like maybe like lore centric. There's cities with catacombs, sewers,
Yeah, the sewers would be
abandoned
cool.
subway networks of shit. You can get like all kinds of, or like maybe abandoned like underground like strip mines under like maybe a more remote settlement. Like
Well,
there's all kinds of shit that the devs could do for like adding like more like infantry centric like set like sections where you don't have like explicitly like
yeah,
and
for
like they
sure.
could have a whole thing where it's like maybe a garrison house extends into the basement but there's no like garrisons or whatever so you could like get over and like maybe all the garrison houses inside this town are like super strong and like they all come with like you can reinforce them and make them super resilient but like the catacombs are a secret way that you can infiltrate and satchel the foundations and like there's cool shit you could do but
Yeah,
anyway.
for sure. And I think what they really missed out on because I remember all the. Do you remember the urban update for
Yeah,
Foxhole
yeah,
when they
yeah. The
updated all
that
that?
was that
The,
was update 26, right?
yeah, I think it was something
It,
like
wa- it
that.
was it
But
was 26 because 26 was the one that removed port bases, added
mhm,
ratios, added scarcity, added
yeah.
the like yeah it also included the town revamps. Yeah.
Well, with the town revamp though, is all the concept art was so cool with all the towns and things, and then like the actual town, it was really cool at the time. Towns in Foxhole, besides like the major cities, are pretty lackluster now, man. Like they're
Yeah,
not really like they used to feel like when people would build massive walls and stuff around cities, and they'd wall off cities, they'd wall off roads. They'd like that was really cool. I like that infrastructure
I'll say
part of
this. I'll say
Foxhole
the
at its
I'll say
point.
the old defensive system is definitely a lot less interesting than the current bunker stuff.
Yeah.
As like, but I think building and like defenses and like the player driven world building is very meh. I think like the aesthetic of everything is kind of cool, but like you don't really feel that impact of like you build this cool bunker. Every bunker is super samey. There's not like much variety. There's not much it doesn't feel like there's a ton of purpose. It feels like you just look at this area. What is the best I can do with this area? Let me just fiddle around with blueprints for like an hour and then hammer shit out for another two. and then
Well,
like get in some stuff, and it's just another concrete blob, right? And it's not that you can really
yeah.
do much more than
I,
that,
I know what
but yeah.
I know what you're saying with that. My point was is that they need to flush cities out more. Like they
Yeah,
need to make I think Deadlands they need to increase the size of Abandoned Ward. They need to increase all the size of the cities, I'd say, besides like even like Terizo and Callums are like a little bit small when you look at the like it like the city sections of it or like the urban sections of it
the
are
thing
really
is
they're
though
only
is
like
that
100
like
meters.
if they're gonna do that, I think they need to add more like temporary shitty like I think my one beef with fighting within towns is that there's not really a way to like and
On
this
yeah.
this is this is this is part of the draw of town combat, but it's also part of the issue is that a lot of towns kind of like devolve into grenade spam and like it's the whole thing where it's like you hold individual street corners and like it's really eventful because when you die the enemy moves up and like there's this whole back and forth and a lot of movement. But the part I get really annoyed at with city fighting is that it tends to promote a lot of like stalemates because you're incentivized to wait till you grenade spam to move up and take more territory because there's not really a way for you to create hard points where you either get a spawn or you maybe like you can't set up defensive like sections, right? At all. And
For sure.
it's one of those like paradoxical situations where it's like because there's no defense and there's no ability to make more spawn points, the ultimate like strategy is to play defensive. Where like there's like there's this the most offense you get in Foxhole I think is when you have a moderate amount of defenses, mostly like rifle boxes, MG boxes, and AT pillboxes. Because during those segments, you see a lot of like attempts to do shit because it's shitty defenses that you can blow up really easily, that you can build really easily. But like ultimately, if you can crack and create like methods in, maybe your infantry can try and get in, wrench stuff, cause havoc, do all kinds of crazy shit, and you look to exploit weaknesses because there's more likely to be weaknesses in hastily thrown together defenses, right? But in an open field, you're like less likely to want to move up because if you move up, there's a chance the enemy slips in behind you, kills your reinforcements, and just like takes the area. But or if you got like trenches and like ultra bunkers, there's also a sense of you want to preserve the concrete, so you play ultra defensive and shit like that. It's it's
There
all
needs to be
wacky, but
in my opinion, I think there needs to be in Foxhole more small town like not like towns where there's an actual like town hall and stuff. I think there needs to be like villages, if that makes sense, right? Because if you really go out into like the middle of a field in Foxhole, like go out to the middle of a field in Weathered Expanse, go out to the middle of a field in Heartlands or in Westgate, and if
shackled,
there's not shackled like anywhere where it's just big and open, there's
Great
nothing. It's
March,
like Great
reaching.
March. There's like no cut like, and some of the most fun in Foxhole that I've had was War 77 fighting for the east of Cetaria was probably like,
77.
dude, 77. That was amazing, man. That was
That
such
was
a fun fight
the
because it was
whole
scout.
that whole war was so
Yeah,
much goddamn fun because it's like
yeah.
I think we could have had something similar this war if the Wardens didn't get the ATHT like a tier earlier or whatever, or like they got it really early this war. But
Well,
like
the 18.
cuz
Ugh.
cuz cuz if you remember what made War 77 so good is that Wardens rolled in with like an endless number of armor cuz they had their scout tanks and each side had one thing, a 30 millimeter vehicle and a fat, and everything came down to how well you used these vehicles. And obviously the scout tank was better than the like thing, but it also was more prone to like the drivers were more prone to thinking it was like more durable than it was, I think. I don't know. It was just really fun because there wasn't like a super huge discrepancy in power, but it was like the tools you had played differently, and everything was like super fun, super open, and then it all came crashing down when the Wardens realized that they didn't have a single spawn point because no one had set their spawns, and the way that spawns work is there was no garrison activity, and that was very funny. But yeah.
No gears and
Do you
activity.
that's
No
literally
gears.
it was literally like I think that war was the war that they changed the what was it, Garrison House tech to be really shit, and like it took like 4 days to take Garrison House tech in occupied enemy territory. So we get pushed back all the way to Great March. They own Shackled. They own Alids. They even own Tempest. Though Tempest is the furthest. I did that backwards. But the point is, all the way back in Alids, there was not a single garrison house or like hardly any defenses. It was pillboxes. We steamrolled like an entire map because they could not build anything and they did not have anyone whose spawn was set, and they accidentally all logged off before setting their spawns at like
No,
backline stuff.
that night with I was playing with Thought Destroyer that night, and we were in a tankette or something, and we were just talking about how crazy it was that pushback in 77, where it was just like we took back like two and a half regions, I think, like
In a day.
overnight.
And then
Like,
and then the counter swing went all the way up to Vipers in like a day or two after that. Or maybe
yeah,
not. Yeah, actually that war ended so
it was super
fast
short.
after
It was
that.
like 14, what,
It was
14, 15 days?
it was so crazy cuz it's
But
like it ended before mediums, I think, or like just as they were coming out.
so that war, me and Hectic got in a fight. If you remember Hectic,
Moa
he's a raid
House.
guy.
It
He's
was
a
the Moa
dude.
House, right?
Yeah, the Moa House, Fonzie, the Moa House. You're wasting your ballista. So God bless Hectic.
The
Another
Moa House.
one of the first battle tank crewmen as well. He's the machine gunner on it. Hectic and I really weren't like friends outside of that. We didn't talk very much, but
He's a
Hectic,
good
I had a
player, but that
ballista.
was
Yeah, he's a
such a
really good
funny
player. Yeah, yeah.
fucking.
Dude, so let me give this story. So we're pushing Viper Pit, 77. We got it encircled. What's stopping our armor? A single Moa house. And because it was sitting there tracking our tanks, fuel leaking them with its pinpoint accuracy, just killing, resulting them in getting kills. And I said, fuck it, man. You know what? I'm tired of sitting. You guys have been here for what, 8 hours? I've been here for 2. I'm sending my ballista at that mortar house. I asked
I
Thought Destroyer and Raspberry. My buddy Raspberry was in it, and Thought Destroyer. I go, Thought, you cool with sending? He's like, oh fuck, man, I don't care. And I'm like, all right, Raz, you cool with oh yeah, man, sure, why not? Or no, he's like Nova Scotian, so he's got the, oh fuck yeah, bud. We can
yeah,
send
we
it,
can
and
do
then
it. Yeah,
oh
yeah,
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 bud.
yeah, bud.
But we send it. Full through, and Hectic's going, Fonzie, you idiot, it's not worth it, not worth the trade, you're not gonna get it. He's like, you're not gonna get it. And I was like, just watch me, man, like,
I
Hectic, trust me.
I remember this
And
entire fight because
yeah.
I think I was arguing about how good the Lion Claw was, and I had managed to get I like when we were initially getting into the city, I had set up a mounted bone saw and I think I killed a half track or something like that.
Mhm.
And I was we when we were taking out the cuz I ended up being part of the reason we took the Northern Garrison House or the safe house because I basically was like I think I went and got I went and I truck swapped for 2 different trucks that had gas nades in them, and then I got them in there and like when I got back with the second one, the first one had like 70, and a few had gone by the time. But then I get back with the other one of 150 gas nades. People just see that message pop up: 150 gas nades have been delivered, and I'm like, everyone grab a goddamn gas nade, follow me, and we are going to gas that house for like 3 minutes straight. And we get it, and we gas it, and we rush in with infantry because of the way the windows were. After we gas it out, we kill them, we attack them, we get it low via I think we pelt the outside with like 40 mil and some shit, and then I think we
Mhm.
either get a ballista to shoot inside the window from the main road, or we got a
Well,
no, we didn't have satchels. I think we killed it with mammons actually, but like the whole gas rush was just like kind of wild.
what I remember happening is I remember Hectic telling me I'm an idiot, I'm gonna lose my ballista for nothing. And I said, I'm killing that mortar house. Get your ballistas ready, get your tanks ready. I go over, uh, I get 2 shots off on the mortar house. AT Garrison next to it disables me. Thought gets our Raspberry gets the final shot off, destroys the garrison or the mortar house. Next thing I know, I have UK David in chat calling me an idiot. He's saying you're stupid, Fonzie. Was it worth it to trade that ballista, moron, and things like that? Or, he was being like pretty BM towards me about it. Next thing I know, 15 minutes later, Viper Pit has been lost by the Wardens.
Yeah,
So
cause it's funny because like I was there for the push, like I said. I think because I didn't hear a goddamn word of this because I was like pushing the factory district and like just fighting
yeah.
with random people and dying. I was nowhere near our tank line when this happened. I just like I'm dead in spectator cam, and
Well,
I think I saw your ballista moving up briefly, but because of where I was, I only got to see it for like half a second before the
yeah.
spectators like because you moved out of the range of the spectator
Well,
cam or whatever. And it was
I
like,
I, I
and
should.
then I just walk back. I hear we killed the mortar house, and then I just see everything fucking zerg forward, and they're
Yeah.
like we're just on their house, on their town hall in like a minute, and it's
Well, the thing,
oh
like, dude, with what people were like, they were being so BM about, because I said I can do it, I can do it. And people were like, you're being an idiot, Unzi. Don't do it, don't do it. That's stupid. Don't do it. And it's like, you know what, man?
sometimes
It's
you
at
just
that
gotta
point where
know,
my
yeah.
instincts kick in, and I go, man, I don't care. I'm either it's my ballista, number one. Number two is like I whatever, man. We lose it, we lose it. So what?
Have you
Like,
ever
oh, who
seen
cares?
have
Bullets
you ever
left.
seen
Like
fucking Lazy Purple?
lazy purple, I have
TF2.
not. No.
Okay, no. Fuck.
No.
Well, this won't work then. But he has a video for his how it feels to play X class in TF2. In the heavy episode, he's got this thing where he's like, heavy mains live for the moment where they just say fuck it and just like jump forward around a corner and just go and like kill everyone, right? And like that's kind of
Hmm.
how I am with tanks, where it's like I live for those moments where it's just like I see an opening. I don't care if I lose this. I don't care what's happening. I will kill that operational objective because if I kill that thing, this entire push goes a lot better or this defense goes a lot better. And it's usually an Artie because Artie is like big and annoying to get up. That's actually I don't know what they could so I think Artie is really weird. Like, or no, Artie is good. Like we were saying earlier, I just like the crate size for Artie shells is cock and
Oh,
ball
being
torture.
5 shells. Yeah, I mean,
Like,
it's
but
to
like
prevent
if
like
you
it's the dedicated like logistics for art. Because
no
I mean, can you
one,
imagine if it was 20 shells in a crate? You just bring up 3 crates of shells, and like, dude, that would be actually like so punishing to players. Like, I would actually hate that, man.
what
Having to like
having more shells per crate?
having more. Yeah, because it would like it would essentially make it so that there's no time in between
What for the people
like
that
things.
like between
For people who are
barrages?
receiving, yeah,
Oh
for
yeah,
the
no,
people who
yeah.
are
It
receiving,
would
yeah,
definitely
like
make. I think it's one of those things where it's like the cock and ball torture goes on the point of Logi, but I don't really
mhm.
think that there's any way to make it other than that. I think you just
No,
kind
yeah,
of
I
have to
mean,
accept. You just kind of have to accept that they're gonna suffer, in order
well,
to make
you
literally everyone else playing the game not suffer. But no, there was fuck, like train of
well, I know
thought
what you're saying,
lost.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
with where you sacrifice a bit. Like, well, I have a story with that. Like, when I first joined Sam, I got my buddy Bubaba to join with me, and he'd never played Foxhole before. It was one of his first times, and there was an EAT stopping 6 tankettes, uh, and Death was leading a SOM operation at the time. And I don't think I was in SOM just yet. I'm not sure. I think I was either freshly joined in SOM or
I
I
think you
wasn't in
were if I
SOM yet.
remember.
Maybe. But there's an EAT, an unentrenched EAT stopping 6 tankettes from rushing forward. And I say, Death is like, fuck it, let's rush it. Who's going first? And I was like, man, it's like, whatever, dude. If it gets the job done, if we get to take AW, and we did take AW, I rushed it. Boom. It hit me once. We're not dead yet. We're get close to getting disabled, like 36% or some shit. Everyone rushes forward, gets shells off. I blow up in a volley and the return shot from the EAT, but everyone else takes out takes the EAT out, and they're able to move forward with their PvE, man. So
It's
it's
always
you
a
know
good feeling when that
it's definitely
happens, though.
it's definitely like yeah, for sure. There's you get that omnibenevolent
It's like
fucking martyr.
just
You know how
after
you feel like a
it's like
saint, dude.
if you that moment when after you're dead, but you hear the like satisfying crunch of the of the fucking bunker or
Hmm.
the like structure destruction noise, or you just like you're going a sticky rush and you die really early on after getting your stickies off, and then you just like in the spectator cam hearing 1, 2, 3, 4 stickies to kill an HTD and it
Then
just
you hear
fucking
that, you hear that pop.
just
Yeah,
like that.
man, there's nothing more satisfying than that
It's
little
weird.
pop
Foxhole
after you.
sound design is really weird because it's quiet and I don't like I don't think they have like a super professional audio engineer. At least I don't know the inner workings of Clapfoot's audio department.
Yeah.
I've never seen them hiring audio people, but it's really effective the audio design for some reason. And I
Well,
think like if you kill a big bunker, you notice it especially because
it,
the game like lags for a second and then you just
yeah,
hear
trying to play it. Yeah.
crunch from like
Well,
10 different
what I think
pieces.
there's certain things they need to make sound nastier, like the tank deflections. I think need to sound a little bit nastier. Like the penetrations in a tank are pretty nasty sounding. You can hear that armor rending, but
Crunch,
the
crunch,
the
crunch.
deflection, it just sounds like you're flicking some guy's glasses or something, man. I don't
It's
know.
yeah,
It's like
it's
not
really
very.
quiet when it
It's
bounces.
also artillery needs to be a little bit more because that little whistle, of course, now it gives me like I have my finger always hovered over my Q button getting ready to hop back in my tank, but I'm sitting there like for newer players like they should shit themselves when they hear artillery. But
The thing is that I it's actually it's a really quiet sound. And like
yeah,
if you've played Foxhole for more than 10 seconds, you realize you turn your SFX all the way down. You play with it on like 10%. If you want if okay, so here's my like guide for getting tinnitus or going deaf. Boot up your computer with a really good set of headphones. Set your volume settings to 100. Set Foxhole to max. Set your SFX volume to max, and go in between a tank fight, a bunker, and 5 machine guns firing at once, and you will be deaf in a minute.
no,
Like,
that's a good point because I set in back in like 2018, 2017. I realized that I was playing with full volume on Fox on my SFX, and I turned it down, and I've never turned it up since,
there is.
Lek.
It is
So
weird.
it's
It is
like,
really
yeah,
weird because the SFX slider 90% of it is completely pointless. You don't use
mm,
anything past like 0 to like 20%. No one goes higher than 20% unless they're a new player, and I think it defaults to like 50 or 100.
yeah.
I actually don't know what it defaults. Actually, I don't know what it. I haven't played as a new player in so long. I don't. Actually, fuck. Did you know that all the fucking everything resets on a name change? If you change your Steam name, every
It
single like
resets,
all the
really?
tutorial. Oh god, there was a thing I did it once just to check something, and I noticed I was getting like tutorial stuff, and I was like, wait, when was this a thing? There's like a little pop up about factor. I I don't remember what it was. It wasn't about spawns, but it was about something. It was about something where it was like I don't. This is like it was telling me to stop doing what I was doing, and specifically like either set my spawn or like the border was full or like it was a message that I'd not seen, and it's one that I remember I was driving. I don't remember the exact context though. It was such a weird thing because it's like, wait, this is a thing? Since when the fuck?
Yeah.
Like this is a you get these prompts and it's weird because however it's coded, it's coded based on your name. Like if you change your name, it happens again. It's not based on Steam ID, which is very odd.
Mm. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's kind of weird, dude. How it changes based off of Steam name. Like I don't know how to feel about that. That's like some weird system. That's probably how people use like a
It's
ban evade and things. Like it can just
I
imagine just
don't
changing
know.
your
I don't
Steam
know.
name.
It's like speaking of Banavade, did you know KBet knows how to just like unban himself or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely like security flaws in Foxhole, and I fear that truly like one day a nefarious individual is just gonna like fuck with the devs and we're gonna lose some stuff, but
The thing
maybe
is,
hopefully not.
the
Like
thing is, there's actually devs working on Foxhole, so like it's on like the most from what I'm aware, the most crazy thing that's happened was the server side hacking, where someone exploited a vulnerability in order to speed up Falchion tech. Do you remember that?
I do. This was War 75, Lek.
Was
When
it?
Falchions first came out. Yes,
Yeah.
this was when Falchions, because I remember
What? No,
getting it.
Falchions were 71 though, right?
Was it 71? It might have been
71,
71.
71
No,
was
because yeah,
71 was
71. No,
Arm
no.
or Winter Army, right?
Sorry. Yeah, Winter Army. Sorry. So that was Spath. I'm thinking of. Sorry, you're right. It was 71 because that was when Falchions came out. Yeah. I'm sorry. But
It
I
was because
remember
I
this
remember it
because
was like in the span of about like 12 or 16 hours, and it was like all the tech that like people saw it going really quick, and we were like, what the fuck? And I'm like, wait, are we really like teching it this quick? And then like it turns out the full tech that we got was only amounted to like 20% of it. And then what's funny is that I remember the devs did like a reset thing, and then someone was fighting with a falchion, and I think Shiv caught it on video. The falchion
yeah.
just fucking
She disappears.
disappears.
They're ATRing it. So the thing is I was in Jade Cove at the time, and I was pushing the Jade Cove ramp because if you remember, Falchions had like some ridiculous amount of health back then, dude. And ATRs like they did like no damage to you back then. Like ATRs were a joke.
Um,
Really, just the amount
I
because they
think
did like they did only like 4 or 5%. And
yeah,
then later came the update where they didn't because you remember it's scaled based off of distance, the ATR
yeah. When they
round.
when they
So
undid that, it became a lot more.
more it was
I think
nasty, man.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
like in terms of yeah, we are getting close to an hour, and I don't know how close we want to keep it.
oh yeah, but
But I will I will say I ultimately think Foxhole is a good game, and I think that was a good like conversation topic as a final conversation topic. So I'll just
yeah,
like I'll pick your brain a little here.
hmm,
Because like I think the things that Foxhole does well is like you said that core gameplay like of combined arms and like the different gameplay styles contrast there's like a paradoxical or not paradoxical there's a cons that's associated with that which we'll go into at a later time, but that's one. The other one is I'd say the aesthetic and the theming and the immersion is actually really good, right? I
hmm.
I think like the sound
The
design.
art style of Foxhole is I think every vehicle it looks good. Looks like it makes sense,
There
and I think every
is
vehicle, every weapon, in my opinion, looks is a good looking weapon. Like I don't think there's any like
there's a
terrible looking
lot
weapon
of
in
visual
Foxhole. Like
consistency to like
yeah,
the world of Foxhole is a very like low fidelity like there's not a lot of sound most of the time. Everything's really quiet. There's not much sounds of wildlife except if you're in like Umbral and you can maybe occasionally hear birds chirping. But like
but don't forget the seagull in Fahrenheit Coast, man. Fuck me, that
it's
thing.
it's
Ugh.
like everything is so quiet, but then once you get into a fight, there's artillery going off, there's tanks, there's gunfire, there's like flares going off, there's like satchels, there's all kinds of different shit. And there's nary a moment you get like more than a second of like just nothing but silence. There's almost never silence on a front line, and it's like the
Yeah.
contrast between it. And I feel like the No Man's Land effect. I've not really noticed it anymore because I know they changed it back from how it used to make your entire screen black. But there's that. It's like everything about Foxhole in terms of its aesthetic really like helps sell the idea of it being a very like war torn like war isn't pretty, and it sells that fact really well. And unironically, the fucking addiction and the like sort of dedication and the hollowness that you feel when you dedicate so many hours of your life to Foxhole like I think that is like as an art, I think Foxhole is like a beautiful art piece for symbolizing war, right?
So I think in a game specifically, like the entirety point into Foxhole is like it's sort of like it has that, and I think people are gonna meme on this here. It has this Orwellian feel to it, or this 1984 feel,
Orwellian.
right? Where I say 1984, I compare it to 1984 because there is a time, or Winston talks about in the book, like Orwell
I've not
talks
read it
about, or
yet,
he
so
writes
don't
this.
spoil.
Okay. Well, he says he doesn't remember a time where they haven't been at war
Yeah.
because they're always either at war with one of the two other na or one of the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
two other three nations that there are in the world, right?
Yeah.
And it really Foxhole really sells that it's like he doesn't even know why they're fighting them. It's like we're why are we fighting them? So
Hundreds
it's
of years of
where
war
like
for
hundreds
more
of years of war.
war.
Why are the colonials and wardens still fighting over
All
this
we know is
decrepit,
war.
ruined land? So yeah, it's definitely like the theme of Foxhole is pretty good. What I wouldn't say though is like I am very particular on this when I compare war like it because Foxhole is definitely a sense of fiction. I don't think it definitely captures the like aesthetic of
The
war, but it doesn't capture like the true nature of it. Like it's very hard to capture like especially with Foxhole not having very Foxhole is a game I would say that would be rated for like if you had to rate it like T for teen, I would not rate this game like mature. Like it's
I'm
not
no no
something
no
that,
no no.
for sure.
Like
But
the thing is that it doesn't include some of the nastier elements, but like in terms of the mental the mental state of the average foxhole player, the
well,
average skills of the average foxhole player, it feels like a giant conscript war where the only people that like if you're new, you're a conscript, you have no idea what you're doing and you are not good at the game and you're not good at
mhm.
fighting and everything is like you want to try everything and you want to help maybe or you want to just enjoy your time and like aka get it over with or whatever to like equate it to war. I think the but like if you last past that, if you become a vet, you kind of are in this status of just not wanting to like give up and not wanting to surrender the war and you are chasing a victory, but in the end all it leaves you is like it takes everything from you, like you said, your social life, the hours you
It,
could have spent studying, like
it's well that was more of a riff, but I'm
I,
not.
I no no no. I know it's
It's
a
not.
riff.
Yeah,
I know
I
it's a
don't
riff. I'm
have
just saying.
to be honest with
My
you. I have to disagree with you here. Like I do not regret a single hour I put into
no no no.
Foxhole.
I
Foxhole. I've
don't either. But
enjoyed it.
I don't
There's
either
been
because I
times where
take
it's
it
been
casually,
tough,
right?
but I
I don't
mean,
either because I take it casually. I'm just saying
mhm.
like I think in terms of the way it consumes you, even if you enjoy it, I think like ultimately it's I'd say it's pretty good at that. I don't think it represents the civilian side. I think it represents pretty well the like the more what you think of when you think of war is like the actual warfare. I think it represents that really well and what it does to a world, but not necessarily what it does to nations, right? Because you don't see
Yeah,
the
and I don't
nations.
think it's not
You
really
see the
or what
forces.
it does to people in general, right? Like it's not like there's no like
Well, you see what it does to like the people
just
that play the
the
game.
people,
They're all nut
you see what it
jobs, I'll
does to
tell you.
people. Yeah, true. What I'm talking about is like in like there's no true like morality sense in fog. Like, okay, maybe it was really funny back in the day when you'd blow up field hospitals and it would say in chat so and so blew up a you remember that, Lek? When it would say
I
in
vaguely
chat,
remember that. Yeah.
and I mean that was sort of like a cool like morality choice. Like, hey, this guy just blew up a hospital. That's fucked up, dude. But and it was I really it upsets me that they removed that from the game with that. But it doesn't. There's no real like. It's not like okay
I mean,
comparison. It's not like
gameplay wise, I don't
it
think
was
that was
because
like. I'd say gameplay wise, you never really felt like any. There's no impact of it saying that. Like, there's no emphasis that what you did was like wrong by making you
yeah.
ultimately like feel consequences for that. Like, it's kind of
Well,
like in
no,
an
no, it's not
RPG
like this
if you
war
just
of
like
mine,
act
right?
as
Like you're not, I get what you're saying, and that's kind of what I was trying to say too. There's nothing in Foxhole that's like where it's like your actions directly have, because it's like you blew up a field hospital. The only thing you're stopping them from getting shirts, but you're not making like the game isn't trying to make you feel a moral impact from that, right? Like
Yeah, no,
something
no, no,
like this
like
war of mine, where if you like, okay, you chose to get like the ammo over the food, and now the kid is telling you his stomach hurts because he's hungry, right?
yeah, no,
It's
what I'm
yeah,
saying is like I
yeah.
think it nails the aesthetic of war and like what it's like for to be in combat for like an endless amount of time, right? I don't think it represents well like the individual struggles of like civilians that are like having to face times of peril and like maybe like economic downturn or like their lives are being flipped upside down by it. Like it doesn't represent the story of a civilian, but it represents the story of like a world, right? That's what kind of like
I get what you're saying with that, but I also.
it lacks the individual panache, right? Yeah.
Man, you're saying words at me that sounds Italian, maybe
It's
Spanish. I don't know what that. Yeah,
it's
that's not
I don't know, it
English.
might be Latin. I know it's
Panache.
panache. Panache is it's like a fashion word. It means like it's like style, right?
You could tell me you're putting some panache in like some spaghetti, and I'd
No.
believe you. You're having spaghetti,
Yeah. Well, hey,
meatballs
I
and
look.
panache, bro. But
I mean, I'm kind of hungry. I kind of want to go get some
all
panashta
right, yeah,
myself.
time to end
Do you
this.
want some panashta like spaghetti and
Yeah,
meatballs? Is that your
yeah,
or are you
spaghetti
more
and
of a
yeah,
is your favorite type of panashta like penne or maybe it's rigatoni? What's your favorite type of
dude.
panashta?
I'm like I'm gonna drop kick you, dude. This is tweaking me out right now. I'm not okay with being told you're gonna panache my pasta. What's wrong with you,
No,
man?
no,
No one
panashta as
you know my panashta. Okay, you're gonna panache my panashta? The hell's wrong with you, man?
Hey, I'm
I don't even let
sorry,
my
okay?
own mother talk to me like that,
Hey, I'm
dude.
sorry. Okay.
But
But anyway, yeah.
all right.
So hopefully, yeah, we're gonna end it here in a second. But
And
hopefully, I realize this is completely abrupt, and I don't think we've not rehearsed any kind of closer.
no,
So
yeah, but I mean, I hope
look, this is
if you're
scuffed as
listening to
fuck.
this,
Okay,
I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for
we're gonna
listening. If
be
you did, if you made it all the way through, we're probably gonna be trying to record these more often, depending on if, I'm okay with just having a conversation with Lek, and if two people want to listen, if it's worth it to those people, hey, I'm cool with that. If Lek's cool with that, I'll keep
yeah.
this up. But
No, like
I mean, yeah.
it's like probably gonna. I don't know. I don't have a schedule for this. But count on it more coming out. Because I enjoy
Hmm.
this and I know Fonzie enjoys this, and even if there's no one listening now immediately, I'm gonna post it on Foxhole Creative, and at least one person is gonna listen to it the whole way through. And you, for that one go in the description. I've linked a special coupon code for. No, I actually haven't. I'm a liar. But no.
Add me on Steam, bro. If you add me on Discord, if you listen to this all the way through, Fonzie Anarchy hashtag number 9777. That's three sevens, one nine. One nine at the start, three sevens to
Fucking
finish. And I'll
phone in
send you a
next
month.
time, yeah.
Yeah, phone in next time. I'll send you a month of Discord Nitro if you do
We'll
it.
stream this at some point probably,
Okay, if you
and we
want
might
this,
do
all right,
viewer
if you want
callings
to,
at that
hey,
point.
you want to prove this? You want to prove it that you watched this all the way through? You're gonna type Panashta in chat or in the comment
Yeah,
section. I'll go through it. There we go. Boom, Panashta. Type it in
yeah.
chat, and I'll send you
Spelt
Discord
P
Nitro
A
after you.
spelt P
Sorry.
A N C H A T E Panashta.
Yes, and then DM that,
Pana
post it on the
I think
video,
that's
and add me on Discord,
I actually
and then
fucked up
we'll
that because
solve it.
I just spelled panached or something.
Hey, it's okay.
Hey,
It's
spell it
like
however you want, okay?
spell it however you want. There you go. Okay.
I ain't the language linguistics police. Fuck it. No. If you guys are interested in this, it's coming out. I don't know when. Like I said, basically, well,
Yep.
this was just a nice introductory. In the future, we'll have more set topics rather than kind of free flow. But this is just a little taste of what's to come. So stick around, and you'll see what's to come.
Yep. All right. See ya.